start the lecture today. We're gonna have fun stuff as usual. So today I'm gonna start with RGB LED, right? You can see it here, located here in the board. So this is an LED, but it is RGB. So what's the meaning of RGB? R is standard for red, green, blue. So it's only one device, as you see here, one LED, but this LED can actually give three colors, one of three colors. So it can be red, it can be green, it can be blue. So if you look here, guys, this is how it looks like from inside. It's like this one, this LED has three internal LEDs, one red, one blue, one green. All the cathodes are connected together to the ground. So it's already connected to the ground. And then as you see here, the red is connected to PB4, okay? The blue is connected to PB5. The green is connected to PB6. So this one here is connected to three pins. One pin PB4, PB5, PB6. Okay. And so the question is how I can use it. Okay. The way you can use it is, first of all, I don't need to say this again. Number one, because we have three pins. Before you use it, you have to program these pins output. This number one, right? Number two, if you want to turn the red on, all what you have to do just to put one here and 0, 0 here. Very easy, very, very easy, right? Just the three pins. If you put one in one pin, you turn the red. If you put one in PB4, you turn the red on, right? Also, if you put here 0 and you put one here, you turn the blue on, right? Also, if you put 0 here and you put 1 here, you turn the green on. So usually one pin is 1 and the other pins are zeros, okay? So that you turn only one color on, okay? So it looks interesting. This one for sure it's different from the LED I explained before. The LED I explained before, it gives only one color, right? This one, let me go to the board. Yeah, here guys, this is the RGB LED, right? And this is the regular LEDs. Okay, so this one gives only one color, but this one it can give RGB LED, so it can give three colors. Okay. By the way, in some boards, maybe one color is not working, okay, because it's the LED is burned out. So it may happen. In this case, you can ask the TA to change the board to you, right? So now the question is, you have one. So now, what is this device? Simply, this device is, it is just one LED. You can turn it on three colors, one of three colors, right? So how can we use it? How can we use it? I'm going to give you, for sure, there are many applications you can use it. I give you here, for example, if you have a tank, and this tank, you control somehow the amount of liquid inside this tank. Now you can, in this case, I can use the LED to reflect the status of the tank. How can you do that? For example, let me go to a new one. So for example, guys, this is something like a tank this way. You have a valve here. You have some kind of okay. You pour liquid here, or the liquid enters from here. You control it, and now I'm just giving you one example, guys. And now, for example, you have a certain level here, and you have another level here. if the level of liquid is more than this limit, okay, in this case, I want to turn the LED, I want to turn it red for some reason. So I want to tell the operator that the liquid is too much, okay? So it can be this way. If the liquid is this than this one, I can turn the LED for example, blue, right? If the liquid is between these two thresholds or these two levels, I'm gonna turn it green. You got what I'm saying? So that using one device, if you look at the color of the device, you can know the status of the tank. You got what I'm saying, guys? So anyway, I'm just giving you one example. There are other examples. You can use other examples. For example, if you look at, again, if when you come to brown hole, there is a fountain, water fountain. In this water fountain, it gives you the status of the filter. So it has a filter. So it gives you the status of the filter. So we can use, actually they are using three different LEDs. This is what they're using in the water fountain. But we can replace, we can design it in a different way. We can use only one RGB LED, so that when the RGB LED is red, that means the filter needs to change. You have to change it immediately, right? So if it is green, that means the filter is okay, right? If it is blue, so I can use blue here to tell the people or the person who takes care of the fountain that the filter it is okay, but you should be ready, because after blue is gonna become red, and at this time you have to change it. Okay, something like that. If the idea is clear, guys? So before I tell you about the programming, because the programming is a simple part. Why the programming is simple? Because you have just 3 pins. Number one, you have to configure these 3 pins as output. Number two, if you want to turn one color on, just to put one in one LED, one pin, and 0 in the other pins. So programming wise, nothing is new. We have done this many times before, right? So I just want you to understand how can we use it in application, right? So just one device that can give you 3 colors, and usually this is the way we use it. Every color you want to communicate with the operator or the user. You want to tell the user or the operator about the status of the system, status of the filter, or whatever. Okay, I just give you 2 examples here. You can think in more examples if you want. Okay, guys. So same thing. For example, if you control the speed of a motor. Okay, if you control the speed of a motor. Also, it can be the same thing. If the speed is above a certain value, I can make it red, right? If it is below a certain value, I can make it blue. If it is between these two, I can make it green, and so on. Just to tell the people the speed is okay or not. Any questions, guys? Before I tell you about the programming is the easy part. I'm gonna teach it. Okay, guys? Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna tell you something also here, guys. I told you these 3 pins are on port B, right? Don't forget, we used the port B before, right? So you remember last time we used BP0, we used PB1, PB2, and PP3. So this one can control 1 7 segment. This one can not control, turn on and off 1 7 segment. This one also another 7 segment, another 7 segment, and this one for another 7 segment, right? For sure, I'm going to teach 7 segment later, so don't worry about that. But for now, you know this pin. If you wanna enable this 7 segment, you have to put 0 here and you have to put 1 here, right? Or if you want to use this one, as I'm going to explain later, put 0 here and 1 here. Okay. So on the same board, I'm going to use 3. I'm going to use three pins here: PP4, PP5, PP6. I'm going to use these 3 for RGB LED, right? So in the coming lab, not this week, next week lab, we are going to use the RGB LED. Also, we're going to use regular LEDs. So as you know, if you want to enable the LEDs, you have to disable the seven segment as I explained. So you have to be careful when you write here. What you mean by careful? I mean, for example, I want to disable all of them, so I have to put 1, 1, 1, 1, right? So you have to make sure if you put 1, 1, 1 here, you have to make sure you don't mess up with this part, right? So in the lecture, I explained maybe it's easy to use move instruction instead of bit set or bit clear. However, sometimes move instruction can make a mess, right? Because in move instruction, I'm gonna change everything. I'm gonna change everything on the board. But sometimes I want to change only this part, and I should not mess up with this part because I'm using this part in RGB LED. So in this case, it's better to use bit set or bit clear. Okay, guys, any questions? Okay. So now let me explain how can a program to explain how we are going to use it. Okay, guys. So first, this is a program I'm going to teach. You have this program on the course website. What I want to do in this program is I'm going to use, you know, we have, last time I explained port H, I explained the switches. So what I want to do now, I want to use switch 0 to turn on and off the green LED, right? So now I want to use the first three switches. Switch 0, switch 1, switch 2, right? So switch 0, when you connect it, you turn the green on, right? For switch number 1, this should turn the blue on or off, right? The list one here for the red, on or off. You got what I'm saying? So every switch should turn one color on and off, okay? You will see right now, I'm going to show also the video, guys. Although it should not be used this way, it should not, you should not turn more than one color at a time because it's not going to be very, it's not going to make, it's not going to make like a very nice mix of the color, right? So it's not going to, but still you can do it. You are not going to burn, you are not going to burn out the device. I will see, I will show you right now when you mix what you are going to get. But anyway, it should not be used this way, I guess. The way it should be used, you should only turn one color only at a time, okay? But I will show you right now the video, or you can try at your home. You already have the board, you already have the program. Just run the program and do it by yourself and see what's gonna happen. Anyway, this program can turn more than one at a time, so it's okay here in this program. But as I told you, when you mix the color, you may not notice too much difference. You will see now. So that's why I'm saying it has to be usually used if you want to use only one color, red, green, blue, right? So now, so how you will do it? Very easy. Look at the idea. Before even I explain anything, look at the idea. Look here, guys. I have port H, BTH, right? I explain port H. This is where the switches are connected. So all what I have to do, guys, for a port H, I'm gonna check the first switch. That's it. If this one is connected, so I'm gonna turn the green on, right? Otherwise, I'm gonna turn the green off. That's it. Very easy, right? And then I'm gonna check the second one. Same thing. If the second one is connected, I'm gonna turn the blue on. Otherwise, it is off, and so on. Okay. So let's explain the program now. Number one, as I said before, guys, we need to do configuration. So you need to ask yourself what ports you are going to use, because I'm using the switches. So here I'm going to use port H, right? So here I'm configuring port H as input, right? That's why I put here 0. As you see here, guys, I put 0 here to port data direction register for port H in order to program it input, right? Now I want to use PP4, PP5, PP6, right? Here I decided to use move, right? Again, because in this program I don't care about the other pins, so if I put anything, it's not gonna make a difference with me, right? As I said. So here, if you see what I did here, so it is 0, 0, 0, 0, and 7 is actually 1, 1, 1, right? 0, because I care about these 3. Okay. So here output means I want to write ones in these 3. So what I did here in this instruction, and maybe this is not the best way to do it. You know why? Because you know what I did? I programmed this pins as well as input, right? But again, because in this program I'm not going to use it, so I don't care much. However, you can use it you can do it in a different way. If you can only manipulate the bits you are going to use. How can you do that? You can simply do bit set, right? So instead of using move byte, you can use bit set DDRP, comma, and then write this instruction percent, this instruction, right? So that you can set, you can only set these bits to make it output. Okay, guys, any question? So far, what I did, I just to configure these two ports, input and output. That's it, right? And then this is initialization. We have to do that. Most of the time, my program will be here. So I have here. If I go, sorry. So most of the time, we're gonna loop to here, right? We're gonna keep looping here. So all the time, we're gonna keep looping this way, right? So you will see right now in every iteration, I'm gonna check the switches, switch by switch, right? If the switch is connected, I'm gonna turn the corresponding color on. Otherwise, I'm gonna turn it off. You will see right now how I made it. Okay, guys. So before I continue, do you think the sound is perfect today? Yeah, please, someone.
Yes.
Sounds pretty good for right now.
Okay, great, guys. At any time, guys, I know it's teaching online is not good even for me, for you, for everybody, but what can we do? Hopefully, starting from the fall, hopefully all the classes is going to be in person. But again, we need to do our best, even if we live in a very difficult situation. So anyway, at any time, if the voice is not clear, just let me know, okay, guys? So anyway, so now, as I told you, I'm going to check. So here, this is, look how I'm going to check it, guys. I explained to you before, how can you check some bits? So this is PTH. So I want to check this bit. I want to check this bit or this is switch, right? So I'm gonna say, check this one, this here. I'm gonna put here 0, 1 because I'm gonna put 1 here 0, 0, 0, 0 because I want to check this one. And if this one is 0, that means the switch is connected. And because this switch is connected, I have to turn the green on, as I told you here. So if this is true, I'm going to say branch if clear. So if this bit here, I'm checking this bit. If this bit is clear, please go to green here, right? When I go to green, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the green on, right? I'm going to turn the green on. How can you turn the green on? As you know, I told you we have, let me go back here. Look here, guys. The green is PB4, 5, 6. It should be bit number 6. So I have to write 1 here in bit number 6. Okay. So here, so that's why here I selected 40. So let's see 40, how 40 looks like. So it's going to be 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 1, 0. So this is bit number 5, okay, to turn the green on because it is bit set. So very easy, right? So here I check a switch, I check one bit, which is corresponding to the first switch 0. This is switch here. And if it is 0, that means the switch is connected. So I have to turn the green on, right? Now, if it is not, so if this switch is open, so what should I do? I'm gonna come this way, right? I'm gonna come this way. When I come this way, I'm gonna make bit clear. So this one, if you look here, guys, they are exactly the same, but one of them, this one to turn the green on, this one to turn the green off, right? So because the switch is open, so I'm gonna turn the green off, and then I'm gonna jump to here to check the blue. So here I'm gonna check the blue in this part. Here I'm gonna check the red, then go back, and here I check the green. So you will see right now this code. I just repeat the code, but just I change the location of the switches or the location of the pins here. That's it. But the code almost the same. Okay, guys. So let me summarize what I said. Very easy. So if you look at this instruction here, okay. Sorry, let me. if you look at this instruction, I'm going to check switch number 0. If switch number 0 is connected, I'm going to come to green to turn bit number 6. This one here, to put 1 in bit number 6 using bit 6. Bit set, right? So if not, if the switch is open, so I'm going to use bit clear to put 0 in bit number 6. Okay. After I'm done here with green, I'm going to go and check the second switch. I told you the second switch should control the blue color, and that's what I did here. Look here, guys. Again, I'm going to check. Look here, this instruction is exactly similar to this instruction. The only difference is here I used number 1, okay, because here I wanna check. In here, I want to check the first bit here, first switch here, but here I want to check the second switch. So I'm gonna put here 1 0 and then 0 0 0 0. So this is number 2, right? So now I'm gonna check second bit. If second bit is 0 is connected, so in this case I have to turn the blue on. How can you turn the blue on? As you see here, guys, the blue is bit number 5. So I have to set bit number 5. That's why you have 20 here. This 20 should this is a mess for bit number 5 because it's 0 0 0 and then 0 1 0. So this is bit number 5. So I'm gonna turn on bit number 5. If not, if the switch is not connected, I'm gonna come this way, and then I'm gonna turn the blue color off by storing 0, as you see here. Okay, guys. Now I'm done with So here in this part, again, as I told you, I'm going to check switch 0, right? And based on the value of switch 0, I'm going to turn on or off the green color, okay? Here, this part, I'm going to check switch 1, right? And then based on the value, I'm going to turn on or off the blue color. Blue color. I'm going to do the same thing here, guys, but this is for the red, for switch number 2, right? That's why you can see what value I put here, guys. Number 4. Why 4? Let me clean everything. Okay. So why here it is 4? Because I want to check which switch I want to. So now it's not the first one, it's not the second one, third one, this one, right? So you have to put here 0 0 1 and then 0 everywhere. So this should be make 0 4. Right, as here. Same thing, if the switch is connected, so I'm gonna come here to turn the red on. In order to turn the red on, if you see here, guys, the red is bit number 4. That means I have to put, this is 1 0, okay, and then 1, right, and 0 0 0 0, okay. So if you convert this one to hexadecimal, you can find it is number 10, right, because this is bit number 4. We start from 0 3 and this bit number 4. Okay, guys. If not, I'm gonna turn this one on, and then I'm gonna keep looping. So I'm gonna keep doing it, so that at any time when you change the status of the switch, at any time the corresponding color will change right away. Okay, guys. Any questions before I choose the video? Any questions? Great. So now I'm not going to teach I think I didn't do the C language, but it should be the same thing, because it should be very easy, because this one, what I did here, I check bits. I already explained in C language how can you check bits. That's easy. How can you set bits? How can you clear bits? That's all what I have also explained in C language. So now let me choose a video before we move to the next topic, right? So this is the video. So this is LED. You can see it here, guys. I think now it's, maybe the camera is not very good. I think that's blue. This is red. Okay. So you can see here every time I change one switch. Okay. So yeah. So every time I change one switch, I change one color. Okay. I want to. Yeah. Here I do some mixing of the colors, but again, this device is not designed to mix colors, right? So that's why the mixing is not going to look good. You can do it in your home, you can play with it, you can turn more than one color at a time. Again, as I told you, this device is not designed for mixing color. It is designed to use it, as I told you, to give one of 3 colors: red, green, blue. Okay, guys, any question? Great. So again, now, as I told you before, guys, I'm not gonna follow. I'm gonna teach everything in this chapter, but I'm not gonna follow the same order because I have to finish what I need for labs first. So the coming lab, we need RGB, we need LEDs, we need switches. I already finished all of this. So next week lab, I already finished the material we need for it. Now I'm gonna move to the lab after that. In the lab after which is not the coming week, next one. So this lab is going to be about how can we use the keypad and how can we use the LCD. So that's what I'm going to start now. Okay, guys. So let me go to the board again to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me come here. Let me delete this one here. Yes. So here, guys. Yeah, so this is the board as you see here, guys. On the board, oops, okay, as you see here, guys, on the board we have LCD. LCD is here. You can write something here. Also we have keypad, as you see here, keypad, right? Okay, so in the keypad here you can it's a 16. We have 16 character. You can input any character here from the 16 character, right? So now I'm gonna start with the keypad and then I'm gonna teach this one. How can you program the LCD? After that, we're gonna have a lab. This lab is about how can we use these two together. Okay, the keypad and LCD. Okay, pretty easy, right? So let's start now the keypad. Okay. First, similar to any device, guys, I teach, number one, I have to tell you how the hardware is connected, number one. Number two, I have to tell you how can you program it, right? So that's what I'm gonna do now. So let's first look about the how the keypad is connected. As you see here, guys, this is the structure or of the keypad. You can see here we have a wire. This is just a wire this way, 4 wires this way, and we have 4 wires this way, as you see here, guys. So 4 and 4 wires. Okay. Also, I want to tell you here, every intersection here, there is no connection, right? So in every intersection, there is no electrical connection. So it's like bypass, you bypass it, right? So this is number one. So you have, very simple, you have 4 conductors this way, yes, and we have 4 conductors this way. Again, this conductor or these wires, again, they are not electrically connected here. Okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, and then at every intersection, we put a switch. We put a push button switch, right? So the way the push button switch should work, guys, is, and this is the most important thing. Listen to me. When I press it, you make a connection, right? That means you connect this wire to this wire, right? So this wire is not originally is not connected to this wire. However, when I press the button at the corner of these 2 wires, actually I'm gonna make a short circuit, right? This is important because, as I'm gonna explain right now, this is how I'm gonna use this fact in order to know which button you pressed, right? And also here, this one is not a switch; it is a push button. So what is the difference between a switch and push button? A switch, guys, like when you turn the light of your room or your office or your room or any room, if you turn the light on, so the light is gonna stay on all the time, right? So it's gonna stay on all the time until you go and turn it off, right? But the push button is similar to the ring, the bell, the house bell. So if you have like a bell in the house, when you press you have, in this case, you have push button. When you press, you connect, okay, and then it has like a spring. There is a spring here. So when I press, you connect, right? You make a short circuit to activate the bell, and then once you release your finger, the spring is gonna pull it up to open it, right? This is for sure completely different from a switch. In a switch, Once you connect the switch, it's gonna continue connected until you disconnect it, right? This is for a switch, right? But for push button, it's similar to your house ring, right? When you press, you actually activate the ring, or you make a short circuit. Once you release your finger, you actually, the spring is going to disconnect it again. So here, what we have here, we have, if everyone here, we have like a push button, right? That means, guys, oops, when I press, I'm going to create a short circuit again between this row and between this column here, right? Between this wire and this wire. If I press this one, so if I press this one, I'm going to make a short circuit here, right? If I release, if you release your finger, so it's going to become open circuit, right? Okay. So let's look at the idea. I told you again, we have 4 wire and 4 wire. Okay. So this device should have 8. It needs 8 pins, because we have 4 here and 4 here, 4 columns and 4 rows, right? So here, how we can, so we need 8 pins. Sorry, we need 8 pins. So how we connect the keypad, or how it is connected in our Dragon board, it is connected this way, guys, as you see here. These 4 are connected to P. This 8, all the 8 are connected to port A. So here, this is the first time we use port A, right? So all of them are connected to port A, right? So the columns, as you see here, are connected to PA0, to PA1, to 3, to PA3, right? And the other, and then the rows, the 4 rows, are connected to PA4 to PA7. Is that okay, guys? And then this is how it is connected. So it is connected to port A, guys. I told you about the internal structure. So the internal structure is just, I told you, 4 wire and 4 wires, right? And they are not electrically connected, right? However, we put a switch here so that, not switch, push button. We put like a push button here, so that when you press, you actually connect to one column, to one row, right? And in order, the coming sentence is very important, right? So in every corner here, in every intersection, we put push button, as you see here, guys, right? Again, when you press it, you make a short circuit, right? And then, in order to know which button out of the 16 buttons, which button you pressed, I have to know which row is connected to which column, right? Because every push button here has a unique pair, row and column. You got what I'm saying? This is the main idea. This is how can we know which button you press. For example, this is row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3. So row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3. For example, this is column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3, guys. Okay. So as you see right now, every push button has a unique pair. For example, if I can know that C0 is connected to R0, that means you press R1, right? For sure, don't think, what if I press 2 buttons at the same time? No, you shouldn't. You should not do that, right? So we're assuming you only press 1 at a time, right? So this is a very simple device. If it is more, this is something else, okay? But now here we're assuming you only press 1 at a time, right? So now all what the program has to do, right? Now I want to write a program to know, to identify the switch you press, right? So if you press this switch, that means, in other words, to identify which switch or which button you press, okay? All what I need to know is which row is connected to which column. You understand that, guys? That's it. Once I know the row and the column, so now I already located the switch you press, right? Because every push button has a unique row and column. Is that okay? Okay. So now, how can we do that? So now the idea is clear. So the idea is that all what I need to know which row is connected to which column. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the main idea before I choose a program. Okay, so the main idea is that these four pins, as you see here, guys, these 4 pins, I'm gonna program them output. Okay, these 4, I'm gonna program them input. So 4 input, 4 output. Wow, why you do this way? I'm gonna tell you why I do this way. Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell you why. Look here. The idea is very simple. Now, again, all what I wanna know which row is connected to which column, right? So how can you know? I don't know. I'm gonna scan. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna scan, right? So when I scan, first I will try this one. So I'm gonna put here 5 volt, and then I'm gonna put here 0 volt, 0 volt. Okay, guys? And then I'm gonna look at the input here. I'm gonna put, because this is output, right? So I'm gonna output a certain value, then I'm gonna read this value, and then I'm gonna see if the switch you press in this row or not. Okay? So what is the idea? The idea is if the switch you press in this row, okay, for example, if you press this switch, right? So you should make a short circuit this way, short circuit here. That means this 5 volt should come here. So I have to find 5 volt here. Is that okay? If I don't find any 5 volt here, okay, or let me give you another example. If this one is the one that's connected, so here I'm putting here 5 volt because I want to test this row. I want to test this row, right? I'm doing the scanning. I don't know which one you pressed, right? So I'm trying. So first I'm gonna put here 5 volt, right? If this one is if you press this one, so the 5 volt should be here, right? Because this is input. Or if this one is connected, I should find the 5 volt here. If this one is connected, I should find the 5 volt here. If this one is connected, I should this 5 volt here. If I don't see any 5 voltage, what it means? So here I put 5 volt here, guys. And then I didn't find any 5 volt here. What it means? It means none of these push buttons are pressed. None of them are connected, right? That means I should try another row. I'm scanning. I'm doing scanning because I don't know, right? So if I put here 5 volt and I don't find any 5 volt here, so that means it's not in this row. Try another row. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to put here the 5 volt here to try this one, right? Again, if I don't find any value here, that means none of these switches are connected, right? Same thing here. I'm gonna continue doing it until when I put here 5 volt, guys, and for example you connect this one, so you have to create a short circuit so that I have to find 5 volt here. That is why this is the main idea. Very interesting, very interesting. Why? Because I created 4 pins output and 4 bits input, right? I'm gonna output some value to test, okay, or to check, and then I'm gonna read what is the input here, and then based on that I have to decide either I already found the switch you connected, or I have to move to the next row. Okay, guys, so this is the main idea. So let me tell you what we are gonna do now. Okay, look here, guys. So we have a subroutine. We have a subroutine in assembly. This subroutine is called keypad, right? This subroutine is already, you know, last time I told you we have a subroutine .inc, right? This file. So this file have all the subroutines I'm going to teach, so it's already there. Okay, guys. So we have a subroutine. This subroutine is called keypad. Okay. So once you call this subroutine is gonna wait until you press a button. Once you press a button, it's gonna return the ASCII code of this button in register A. Okay, this is how it is programmed. So if you look at the subroutine, it's 3 slides or 4 slides. Okay, so again, very easy. So I'm not complicating it. I'm making it very easy. So again, guys, very simple. I'm gonna explain everything, but now for exams, for project, for everything, what is important to me is, or what I'm gonna ask you to do is, how can we use the keypad? That's it, right? So how can you read the value? How can you read you read character from here, from the user? Okay, that's what I need from you. I'm gonna explain everything, but the details just for your knowledge or to learn more, right? But I'm not gonna ask you to write the subroutine because it's already there, right? So you already have it, right? So what's important to me is how can we use it? As you see here, guys, if you press this button again, all what you have to do very simple. If you wanna get a number from the user, okay? If you wanna get a number from the user, all what you have to do, you have to call a subroutine called keypad. That's it. Okay, call a subroutine. What this subroutine is gonna do? The subroutine is gonna wait until the user hit a number. Once you hit a number, once you press a number, so the subroutine is gonna return the ASCII of this number in register A. So after you call the subroutine, just to go to register A and see what is the ASCII there, in order to know what number the user entered, right? So here one, if I press this number, I'm gonna get the ASCII of 1, which is 31, as I told you before. The ASCII of 2, which is 32. The ASCII of A, right, which is 33, and so on. Here's the ASCII of uppercase A, the ASCII of uppercase B. You can find them on, I think, let me test my memory. You already have the table for the ASCII code, but I guess this one is 41. Hopefully I'm right. You can check this one. I think B is 42. So you're gonna get the ASCII of same thing for C is 43, and this one is 44, right? I don't remember actually the ASCII of asterisk and hashtag or the bound sign. You can get it from the table, but anyway. So let me say it again. So very easy, simple, very easy. Now I want to read the number from the user, right? So all what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call a subroutine called keypad. Once you do that, the subroutine is gonna wait until the user press a button, and then the subroutine is gonna return the ASCII of this button, right, in register A. And the ASCII is this way actually. So this button is 1, this is 2, 3, A, and so on. So it's the same numbers here. Okay. So again, what is important to me is how can you use the subroutine. Very easy. So now, before I give you the details, I'm gonna teach how the subroutine works. But again, this is just for your knowledge, right? Or if you wanna learn more. But for exams, for everything, I'm gonna all what I need from you. How can you use the subroutine, right? So in order to use the subroutine, as you see here, let me show you this program, guys. In this program, I want to use keypad subroutine. I want to write a program that reads a key from the keypad and display it in ASCII on the LEDs. You got what I'm saying? So I wanna get a number from the keypad, and then I'm gonna display the ASCII of this number on the LEDs. For example, if the user hit number 1, right? If you hit number 1, so that means I have to see on the LEDs, I have to see 31 in binary, right? Because the ASCII of 1 is 31. Okay. So let me show you how I made the program here, guys, and then I'm going to show the video before I explain the details of the subroutine. Okay. So here, because I'm using the LEDs, so as you see, nothing is new here, guys. I have to program port B, port J. I have to enable PG1. Nothing is new. This is just for 7 segment and LEDs. Okay. If you want to use if you want to use the keypad, I need to program. As I told you here, guys, we're going to use port A, right? So if you look here, we're going to use. Let me go back more. Yes. Here, as I told you, are going to use port A, but these 4 are input, these 4 are output. So you have to configure these 4 input, and you have to configure these 4 output. That's what I did here. So that's what I did here, guys. I configure here DDRA. So here I configure 4 input and 4 output, right? So that's why I put F0. Okay. And then if you look here, guys, this is the program will be here all the time. I'm gonna call a subroutine keypad. Once you call keypad, this subroutine is gonna wait until you hit a button. Once you hit a button, so this subroutine is gonna return the ASCII in register A, and then I'm gonna from A, I'm gonna put it in port B, right? That's what I wanna do. So that's what I wanna do here. Okay. So let me choose a video. Okay. Let me see, where is it? The keypad. Yeah, display keypad on the LEDs. Okay, let me see. So look here, guys. This is number 1. Let me stop. Oh, I did something different. Okay, so I'm gonna try run it again. So here I'm gonna press number 1. So you can see the number here, guys, is this is 31. No, this is not a 31, right? So what did I do? Is that what this number is? This is number 1, right? But this number, this is 41, I guess. But anyway, so let me see. I think I press another button. Yeah, this is correct because this is 32. So this is 32, right? So anyway, so every time I press a button, I just want to test. Don't tell me why did it this way, right? So I just want to test. I want to test the keypad. I want to make sure my program is reading the keypad correctly. So when I press number 2, I'm gonna see here 32. So let me try another number. I guess this is 32, right? Let me see. This number 3, so 33. This is the ASCII, right? And so on. Again, you have these programs. You can try them, right? So let me now go to the slides again. So regarding again, guys. So let me summarize what I said. But let me first, because as far as I remember, I don't think you need to configure port A, because I think this is already done in the keypad. Let me go and check the keypad. I think that's what I remember. So I think you don't need to do that. Let me check the subroutines now, and I'm gonna tell you. So here, oh, sorry. Okay, just give me okay, just give me 1 second. So here, where is the subroutine? Yeah, it's here in chapter slides in chapter 3. So if I come here, chapter 3, the programs, I'm gonna go to yeah, it's here. So let me open it and see if it's already, if we define it already inside the subroutine, that means let me look for the keypad. So that means I don't need to do that. Oh, so this is the subroutine. No, it's not this one, I guess. Okay. Yeah, the subroutine is here, guys. Yeah. Look here, guys. Can you see this one? So here I already configure port A as input and output here. So it's already in the subroutine. That means, guys, if you want to put it outside, that's okay, but we don't need, right? So you don't need. It's already done inside the subroutine. So you actually, I am making it more easier as well. So you need to worry about this one. Just to call the subroutine, everything will be done for you. And then the subroutine is going to return the ASCII of the button you press in register A. After that, you can use it, whatever the way you want to use it. Okay, guys. So let me tell you the conclusion. The conclusion now is, before we have a subroutine. This subroutine is called keypad. All what you have to do, guys, you have to call this subroutine. Once you call this subroutine, it is gonna return it's gonna wait until the user click hit or press a button. Once the user press a button, so the subroutine is gonna return the ASCII of this button in register A. After that, you can use it as you like, right? So if you want to use what, okay, someone can ask me how I can use it in application, something like that. Okay, it depends on the application, guys. For example, if you want to use it for security, right? For security, you know there is something we call it PIN code, right? So I think one of the things here, you can ask the user, for example, the user want to open a room. Okay, so I want to make like a system to open a door, right? So I'm gonna ask you to enter your PIN code. So you should know the pin code once you enter the pin code here, right? So I'm gonna check if this pin code is authorized to open the door. If this is the case, I'm gonna open the door. Otherwise, this program is not gonna open the door. So this is one thing. How can you use the keypad? Okay. So now I'm going to give you more details now. So again, as I said, all what I want from you guys, just use the subroutine and that's okay. But again, it's good to learn, right? It's good to learn. So now I'm going to explain how this subroutine is programmed, right? So here, the first thing I do here in the subroutine, guys, is any key pressed. So here, before I do scanning, I told you about the idea of scanning. So I'm gonna put here to scan. Before I do scanning, I have to make sure you pressed any button first before I do scanning, right? Before I go for scanning, I need to make sure you already pressed a button, right? How I can do that? This is the first step. That's why you can see this is the first part in the subroutine. So inside the subroutine, this is the first part is here, right? So in the first part here, guys, you can see what I did. I want to check if you pressed any button, right? So that I can start scanning. If you didn't press any button, I'm going to wait until you press. That's why I told you this subroutine is going to wait. It's not going to return. This subroutine is not going to return to the main program until you press a button, right? Because of this part. You will see right now what I did here. Look here, guys. So first, the first part of this subroutine, I'm going to put here 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 everywhere. Why? Because if I don't see any ones here, if I put 1, 1, 1, and I don't see any ones here, what it means? It means you didn't press anybody. Sorry, you didn't press any button. That means I don't need to scan, right? It's just I don't need because you didn't press yet. So I have to wait, right? So otherwise, if I can see anyone here, okay, if I can see anyone here, that means you pressed the button. Okay, that's what I did. Let's see how I did it programming. Look how I did it programming, guys. Here, I'm gonna do here move byte 111-000. So I'm gonna put here 11 as you see here. Okay, guys, and then after I put 111 here, I'm gonna read port A, right? As you see here, I'm gonna read port A. I'm gonna put it in register A, and then I'm gonna test this 4. I'm gonna test this 4 to see if there is anyone there, right? Because if you press if any switch here is pressed, you have to make a short circuit, and the one has to be shown here, right? So that's what I did. So number 1, I'm gonna output, as you see here, I'm gonna output 111 here, right? Number 2, I'm gonna check this 4. How can you check this 4? As I said before, I'm gonna put here, I'm gonna do AND operation. I'm gonna put here 1, 1, 1, 1, and then I'm gonna put 0, 0, 0. Okay, and then I'm gonna look at the result. If the result is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, that means if all of them are zeros, that means there is no ones here, right? That's what I did. So here I'm gonna say now I'm gonna do AND operation. Then I'm gonna compare to 0, 0, right? If it is equal to 0, 0, that means you didn't press any button. So I have to go back and keep repeating here. You got what I'm saying? So this is the first part in the subroutine. This part, the first part here again, will check. This one is gonna check if you pressed any button before I do scanning, right? If you didn't press any button, that means I'm not gonna get anyone here. When I put 1, 1, 1 here, I'm not gonna get anyone here. And in this case, I'm gonna keep looping here. I'm gonna keep looping until you press any button. Okay, this is the first part of the subroutine. Any question here, guys? Okay, then after that, if you press any button, guys, okay, that means when I compare to 0, it's not gonna be equal, right? So I'm not gonna come here, but I'm gonna go here, right? To start scanning. Now I'm gonna start scanning because I am sure a button is being pressed. Okay, a button is being pressed. So now I want to know which one. So I'm gonna start scanning as I told you. When I scan, as you see here, guys, I'm gonna try row by row. I want to try row by row. So I'm gonna put here 1 and then 0, 0, 0. Okay, and then I'm gonna see what is the value here. If there is no one here, that means it is not in this row. So I have to move to next row. I need to check next row, right? And again, if there is no one here, so the button you are pressing is not here. So I have to move to the next one until I find there is one here. Okay, guys? This is, and then next step, once I know the row and I know the column, right? So once I know the row and the column, I have to write some code to extract or to resolve the ASCII of the button, because every button here, guys, has a unique row and it has a unique column. So I need to know where I put the one here and where I got the one here, right? If this is the case, everyone has a unique row and column. So once I know the row and once I know the column, I have to write some code to get the ASCII and return this ASCII to the user, right? So let me show you how I made it, okay? So look at the code. This is the code. Number one, as you see here, guys, I'm gonna output 0001 here in this 4. That's what I did here. If you look here, let me clean this one first. Okay. So here, as you see here, guys, I'm gonna output 1000. That's what I did here. Okay. I'm gonna output it. That's great. And then I'm gonna compare. I'm gonna read port A, and then I'm gonna again check. I'm gonna check this 4. Right? Again, how? Same thing as I did here, using AND operation. Same thing, right? So as you see here, guys, I'm gonna check it with 111, right? If it is 0, that means when I put 1 here, I didn't find anyone here, right? If it is 0, right? So here, if it is 0, that means it is not in row. It's not in row 0, right? If it is equal, right? That means I have to scan next one, right? Now, what if it is not equal? Okay, if it is not 0, 0. If it is not 0, that means there is a 1 here. That means I found it, right? So it is in row 0. So the way I did it here, guys, as you see, very easy, very simple, right? So the way I did it, I'm testing row by row. I'm testing row by row. So the way I did it, number one, I have to test row 0, R0, right? Row 0. So I'm gonna put here 1, guys, and then I'm gonna look at this one. If it is 0, 0, so now I have to move to next row, right? Because it's not here, right? Otherwise, this is otherwise here, right? So if it is not equal to 0, 0, that means I found it in row 0. So I'm gonna go to a location called R0. So I'm gonna explain to you what I have to do there, right? So anyway, so I already found it, right? If not, so I'm gonna come here. So in order to scan the next one here, right? To scan the next one, as you see here, guys. Oh, let me go back. Yeah, to scan the next one. Look here, guys. So I have to put 1 here. I think I skipped 1. I think I skipped 1 in the middle. Oh, sorry. This is for, yeah, this is for R0. Maybe I didn't put R1 here. I didn't put R1. That's okay, but it should be the same thing. The only difference, this one has to move to here. That's it, and then put 0 here. That's the only difference. So now, even if you didn't find it here, so I have to move to the next one. That's what I did here, because here I'm assuming in this example, guys, the switch, you press the switch. This is switch, right? So you have to find it in this R. This is R0, row 0, row 1, and row 2. So this is, look at the code here, guys. The way I'm gonna do it is, as you see here, I'm gonna put, look at this 4. Okay, so I'm gonna put 0, 0, 1, 0, which is shown here, right? Because I'm testing this row, right? And then after that, I'm gonna do AND operation. And now, if the result is not 0, that means there is 1 here. There is 1 here, right? So now I'm gonna go to a location called, I found it, right? So I have to go to a location R0. Okay, guys. So let me summarize what I said. Very easy. What I said, guys, in the first part, I need to check if anybody, if any button is pressed, right? So that I start scanning. I did this way. Okay. If you don't press any button, so I'm gonna keep looping, right? Otherwise, if you press any button, so I'm gonna go to the scanning. I'm gonna start the scanning. What do you mean by scanning? It means I'm gonna put 1 here, 0, 0, 0, and then I'm gonna test what is the value here. Okay. If I don't find it, so I'm gonna put here the 1 and so on. Okay. until I find. The next part now is, now I found the button you pressed, but now I need to get the ASCII. So how I can get the ASCII? So as I told you, I have to know what is the row, what is the column, and then every button should have a unique row and unique column, a pair, row and column, right? So once you know the row and the column, you can. I'm gonna tell you how can you resolve it to get to get the ASCII of the. I'm gonna tell you how. Look, look how we did this part. Okay, look here, guys. I defined a table or an array this way. Look how I defined it. I defined it in a certain way to make the extraction of the ASCII easy. I'm gonna tell you how. Look here, guys. So I created an array. This array is called code 0, right? 1, and this one, it has 4 elements, right? For the first element is the ASCII. So if you look here, guys, this array is corresponding to what? One row here, the ASCII. So let me clean this one first. So what I did, guys, the ASCII of these 4, I put it in one array. The ASCII of these 4, I put it in a second array. The ASCII of these 4, I put them in a third array, fourth array. Is that okay? And then look at the idea. And then if I find it in R0, so I'm gonna put X. X is gonna start from here. I'm gonna put X here, right? Because I have to find it here, right? Who's gonna tell me if it is this one or this one or this one? But I'm sure it is here. I am sure if you find the one here in R0, so I'm gonna put X here. Okay. Sorry for that. So see, so here, if I find it in R0, I'm gonna put X here, right? And then I have to look where is this one, right? So if this one is here, that means I have to return this one, right? I'm gonna tell you how I made it. But for now, look at the way I made it, guys. I made one array for one row, second array for second row, third array for the third row, a fourth array for the fourth row. So every row, I created one array with the ASCII of the buttons in this row. Number one. Number two, if I find, I told you, if I find the button in R0, so I'm gonna go to a location called R0. If I find it in R1, I'm gonna go to a location called R1. If I find it in R2, I'm gonna go to a location called R2. So what should I do here? Look the way I'm gonna do it. If I find it in R2, guys, so X is gonna point here at the beginning with number 7 here. So I'm gonna use I'm gonna use this array, and X is gonna be here, right? If you find it in R0, so I'm gonna put X here. If you find it in R1, it's gonna be here. R3, I'm gonna put X here, right? So always I'm gonna based on the row. So the row, I told you, if I can know the row and I know the column, I can get the ASCII, right? So the row is gonna tell me which array I have to use. Very simple, right? So if I find it in row 0, so I'm gonna use this array. If I find it in row 1, I'm gonna use this one. If I find it in row 2, and so on. So here, because I found R2 in row 2, so I'm gonna use the array number 2. Okay. So the row can tell me which array I have to use. Okay. What about the column? The column tell me which element inside this array I have to take. Right. So for example, here I'm gonna use this array. So I have one element, second element, third element, fourth element. Right. So which element I have to take and return, right? Which element? Who's gonna tell you? The column has to tell you. If I have to see where is the one. Right? If the one is here, so I'm gonna return 7. If the one is here, I'm gonna return 8. If the one is here, I'm gonna return 9, and so on. Always remember, there's only, you press only one button. That's why there's only one pin here that has 1, right? So how I can do that? I'm gonna tell you how I can do that. Look here, guys. First, X is pointing here, as I told you, because I'm gonna use this array. X is pointing here. Okay. Then I'm gonna check this one. If it is 1, so I'm gonna return the byte pointed by X, right? And that's it. Okay. If this one is not 1, so I'm gonna increment X. So X is gonna be here, right? And then I'm gonna check this one. If this one is 1, Next one here, I'm gonna check this one. If this column, if it is 1, I'm gonna return the byte pointed by x, right? If not, so I'm gonna increment x again, right? And until I find 1, and then I'm gonna return this one. That's how you did this part. Yeah, that's what I told you guys. The address of the button you pressed, the ASCII of the button you pressed should be x plus the column number, right? So column number here means you have 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So it's going to be x plus 0, x plus 1, or x plus 2, or x plus 3. It depends on where you found it, where I found the 1, right? How you made this part? I made this part this way. Look, guys, how I made it. Now I want to know where is the 1, right? So the way I made it is as you see here, guys. Look, number 1, here I'm gonna shift. I want to know where is the 1. So here, let me go here. Yeah. So here we have B. I have to start from B is 0, right? So here I'm gonna shift. So here I need to check, is this one is 1, or this one, or this one, or this one? I want to know where is the 1, right? So the way I'm gonna do it, guys, as you see, I'm gonna shift this one. When I shift this one is gonna go to the carry, and now I'm gonna check the carry. If the carry is 0, so I'm gonna increment x and shift again. Look how I made it here. So I'm gonna shift port A, right? And then if the carry is 1, that means I already found it, so I'm done. So just come here and then take the byte pointed by x, and this is the byte you have to return. Put it in register A and return. Okay. Otherwise, what if it is 0? If this one is 0, that means, for example, if the 1 is here. If the 1 is here, right? So every time I shift, I have to increment x, right? Until I found it, right? So again, I'm gonna say it quickly. Maybe it's a little bit confusing, but again, I'm just, what is important to me here, guys? For sure, it is good to learn everything, but I'm saying for exams, for anything, guys, it's enough to learn how can we use it, right? But again, I'm explaining everything because it's good to learn everything. Okay. So what I'm saying, in the very beginning, x is here, right? Once I know it is in this row, I'm gonna select the array of this row. I'm gonna put x here, right? And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check this one. How can you check this one? Shift it. This one is gonna go to the carry. If the carry is 0, I'm gonna increment x, right? And then I'm gonna shift again to get this one, put it in the carry. If the carry is 0, so you have to increment x, right? And so on. Once I find it is 1, so now x is pointing on the address of the ASCII, right? So let's see how we made this code, guys. As you see here, I'm gonna say shift right for register A, right? And then I'm gonna say shift right for register A, and then I'm gonna say if the carry is set, if you found 1, so I'm done. If you find 1, I'm done. So just I'm done. When I come here, I'm gonna take the byte pointed by register X, because this is the ASCII. I'm gonna put it in register A, and then I'm gonna return, right? I'm done. If not, if you didn't find 1, okay, so I'm gonna, in this case, this branch is not gonna be taken. I'm gonna increment X and then go again to shift again. Right? So I'm gonna keep shifting. Every time I find 0, I'm gonna increment X to move X from one column to another until I find the 1. Once I find the 1, X is already pointing at the byte I have to return. Anyway, guys, do you have any question, guys? Again, I explained a lot of things today, but the most important thing is a long subroutine. But again, the most important thing is how can you use it? If you want to read a value from the keypad, how can you use it? And the way I did it is very trivial, very easy. If you want to read the value from the keypad, guys, just call a subroutine called keypad. That's it. So this subroutine is gonna wait until you press a button, and then it's gonna return the ASCII of this button in register A, right? And this is here. You are gonna, if you press this one, you are gonna get the ASCII of 1, the ASCII of 2, ASCII of 3, ASCII of A, ASCII of B, ASCII of 6, 5, 4, and so on. that okay, guys? That's it. I explained how it is connected. I explained even how the subroutine works. The idea of scanning, it's a very interesting idea. Even I also explained how it works. So because the way we did it, we put a switch or push button between every row and between every column, so that when you press the button, you actually make a short circuit between one row and one column. And all what I'm going to do in the program, I'm going to write a program so that the program should search for the short circuit to find where is the short circuit, right? Once I find the short circuit, that means I can know which button you pressed. And then once I know the row and the column, I can get the ASCII and return this ASCII. Any question, guys? So this is for assembly. For assembly, just one subroutine you can call, and that's it. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about C language. How can you do it in C language? Again, in C language we have some subroutines. Again, you can just use these subroutines, right? You don't need to worry about anything. Just use the subroutines. Let me see what subroutines we have. The first subroutine here, guys, keypad enable, right? This one is used to program to configure port A as input and output. So you have to use this one at least one time in your program. So as you see here, if this is a program, guys, similar if you wanna use similar to what we did before for LEDs and 7-segment, same thing for the keypad. Very easy. So very simple. You have to do initialization or configuration for the keypad. One time is enough, right, guys? So if you want to use the keypad in C language, right? So just to call this subroutine. This subroutine, actually, you know what is inside this subroutine? Okay. So if you go inside this subroutine, you will find this one here, just a configuration for port A this way, right? Input and output. That's it. Okay. So this is number one. Number two, we have a function called get key, right? This function should return integer, right? Integer. So when you call this function is gonna wait until you press a key, right? And then this one is gonna return the key you pressed from 0 to 15. So this is 1, 2, 3, 10, 4, 5, 6, 11, right? 7, 8, 9, 12, and this is 0, I think 30. Yeah, it's here. So 1, 2, 3, and this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? So let me make it easy, very easy. Look here, guys. What is the difference between get key in C language and between keypad in assembly, right? Both of them are gonna wait until you press a button. Great. Both of them are gonna return the key you pressed, right? So they are identical. Yes, but there is a small difference. What is the small difference? This keypad is gonna return the ASCII of the key, but this one is not gonna return the ASCII. It's gonna return the number. So when I press 1, this one is gonna return 1, but the keypad is gonna return 31, which is the ASCII of 1, 31, right? Again, this is not a big deal because at any time it's easy. At any time it's easy. You can simply convert. It's easy. You can simply convert between ASCII, between number and ASCII, right? It's easy. But here you get the you get a number. So if you want to convert to ASCII, easy. I'm going to tell you how can you do it. Easy, right? Here you get ASCII. If you want to convert to a number, also easy, right? So if it is between 30 and 39, you can. So if it is 0 to 9, okay. So you can just subtract 30, right? So if you, I'm saying, if for some reason if you want to convert, you are going to get ASCII, right? I want to convert the ASCII to a number. So if you get a number, guys, from 0, between 0. If you get a number from 0 to 9, so you are going to get ASCII from 30 to 39, right? That's what you are going to get, right? In assembly. And that's what you are going to get if it is C language, right? So how I can convert? For some reason, if I want to convert to ASCII, that's easy. You just add 30, right? If you want to convert from ASCII to a number, subtract 30. This is if it is from 0 to 9, right? Someone can ask me, okay, you are telling me sometimes I need it as a number and sometimes I need it ASCII. Tell me when do you need it as a number and when do you need it as ASCII? Okay, very short answer, guys. If I get a number from you and I want to display it on the LCD can only understand ASCII. You got what I'm saying? So I have to send ASCII to the LCD. However, if I get a number from you and then I want to do it computation, I want to multiply, I want to add, I want to do computation. So in this case, I need a number, not ASCII, right? Anyway, at any time, converting from number to ASCII to number should be easy. I'm explaining when do you need number and when do you need ASCII, okay? Very straightforward. When you send something to the LCD, it has to be ASCII. So if I want to display number 0 in the LCD, you should not send 0. Right? As I'm going to explain later in LCD, you have to send 30, the ASCII of 0, in order to be able to see 0, right? If you want to do computation, in this case, I need a number, not ASCII, right? Again, this one is going to give you a number. If you need the number, it's already in a number. If you need it in ASCII, you have to convert to ASCII, right? Let's see the next one instruction here. So this one, similar to the keypad, guys, is going to wait until you press a button, and then it's going to give you the key in number, not ASCII, right? Next one is called wait key up. So this one, if you press a button and you hold, listen to me, if you press and hold, what's going to happen is the subroutine is going to return, right? So if you call the subroutine again, it's going to return if you keep holding, right? So if you press a button and you hold, right? So every time you call the subroutine, you are going to reach the same value because you hold, right? So sometimes you don't want to something like that. You have to wait. For example, if I want to enter the same number multiple times, I have to press release, press release, press release, okay, and so on. If you want to enter the same number multiple times. So here, this one is gonna wait until you release. You got what I'm saying? So usually we can use these two together. So after I get a number from you, before I get a second number, I can wait until you release, right? If I don't do that, there may be a risk. If you hit one time, and because computer is very fast, maybe you only pressed one time, but maybe I'm gonna take it two or three times as if you pressed it. So sometimes it's a good idea. I'm not gonna get a second number from you until you release, right? So if you want to enter 5 2 times, right? So you have to press 5, release, and then press release. How I can do that? If you use just the get key is not gonna do that, right? Get key is not gonna wait until you release. That's why you will see right now in the code we're gonna use these two together. So after I get a number from you, right, I'm gonna wait until you release. So after that I can get another number, right? So next one here, and maybe this one we're not gonna use it a lot. This one is called key scan. So this one should return number 16 if no key is being pressed. So if I call this one is not gonna wait until you press, unlike this one, and unlike get key. Get key is gonna wait until you press a button. This one is not gonna wait. If you call this one, if you press a button, it's gonna return this key. If you don't, it's gonna return 16. So 16 means, because here you have from 0 to 15, right? So if you get a number from 0 to 15, so that means the user pressed a number, and this is the number the user pressed. Otherwise, it's going to return 16. So the only difference between this one, guys, and this one is going to wait until you press a button. This one is not going to wait. It's going to go. If you don't press anything, it's going to return 16, right? The last function we have here is called this one hexadecimal to ASCII. So this one I told you here, this one is going to give you a number. Okay, so I want to convert this number to ASCII, right? So there are different ways to do this. One way is just use this function. This function is going to get an ASCII number from 0 to 14, and then it's going to convert it to the ASCII code. So for example, if you press number 1, right? So this one is going to give you number 1, right? So here I'm going to input it here. I'm going to send to this one. This one is going to give me 31, right? So again, there are different ways to convert a number to ASCII. One way is using this function. Again, you can call this function. This function is going to return a number. You can send this number here as an argument to this one. This one is going to return the ASCII of the number. Okay, guys? I think that's 420 now. So next time, I'm going to teach this program. Nothing is new. I'm going to teach how can we use these functions. And then after that, I'm going to start the LCD next time. Hopefully, we can finish it or finish most of it, right? Okay, guys. Any question, guys? Okay. Thanks very much. So see you on Wednesday, right? Okay. Bye.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
Are your like examples of that you've been showing us, are the codes going to be put on your website so we can see if they're running properly on our boards?
Yes, it's already there. So every program I teach, look, I write here, I write the code, right? So if you go to the course website, okay, let me show you something very quickly. I know maybe you're busy, but I'm going to show you some. Yeah. So if you go to the website, you will something like that. This is the name of the program.scm, name of program.scm. So they already there. Yes. And also you have two folders, one for C, one for assembly, right? Yes, everything I'm going to teach you already have the program. I'm quite sure these programs are working. I tested them, they are working, so you can try them. Yes, that's a good idea. And this is actually a very good way to learn. Number one, try the programs we have, and then after that you can modify them. Okay. Any other questions?
Okay. What section is that under? I was looking through it and couldn't find them.
Sorry, what
like
section?
What section on the website?
What section in the website?
Yes.
It's in slides under in the section of the slides, right?
Okay.
You will see next to the slides of chapter 3. I wrote next to it the programs of chapter 3. So you'll find in this section, right? Okay.
Oh, okay. I see them now. Okay, sweet.
Again, if you didn't find it, just email me and I can send them to me, or I'm gonna guide you more. But it's just look at the slides section. You will find it there. Okay, man.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Any question, guys? Good luck. You have the board. You have the program. Run, play, enjoy, modify the program, learn. Okay, guys. See you. Bye.